Hey everyone, in this video I'm going to show you guys how to use the VI text editor. Now Linux comes with two main text editors, that's VI and Nano, and if you really want to become a Linux power user you have to become proficient with at least one of them. So this video will cover VI and I'll have a follow-up video covering Nano. Okay, to open a file in using VI, all you have to do is type in VI and then the name of the file. So here I have an example file and we're going to open that up. Now because this is in /var/log, I do have to open it with the sudo command. So certain files, depending on their permissions and the ownership, you may or may not have to use sudo. So we do sudo VI and then the name of the file. You can see here, this is just the syslog file that I copied over so that I can show you how to make changes and things like that. And since this file already had a lot of text, I thought it would be a good file for example purposes. Okay, so when you first enter into VI, you are entered into command mode. Now command mode will cause VI to operate in a way that you wouldn't expect a text editor to operate. So if you start just typing in letters, you'll find that it's not actually typing those letters. And instead it's acting really funny. And that's because in command mode, instead of accepting characters to put onto the file, it accepts characters and commands that will tweak the file in different ways depending on what the command is. So if you want to actually start typing and putting in words into the text file, we have to enter into insert mode. So to get into insert mode, we have a couple of different options. We have the letter A will put us into insert mode. The letter I will also put us into insert mode. The letter O will put us into insert mode, and shift+O or capitalized O will also put us into insert mode. And they all do the same thing but with one slight adjustment. So let me show you what the differences are. So we're in command mode right now and we can use the arrow keys to move around. And let's say we want to start putting in some words right here. If we type in the letter I to enter into insert mode, we can now start typing. Okay, and to get out of insert mode, we do escape. So now, once you hit escape, you're back into command mode. Let's go down a line, and this time let's do the letter A. So letter A will put us into insert mode again, and we can start typing. Right? And then if we hit escape again, that's going to put us back into command mode. And you're probably wondering, like, well, what is the difference between those two commands? And the one tiny difference is, let me show you real quick. Look at where the cursor is. It's on the letter M. So if I hit the letter I to get into insert mode, you don't really know that you're in insert mode, but the prompt is still on the letter M. So if I start typing, you can see the characters come before the letter M. Now if I escape, go into command mode, move the cursor back to the letter M, and press the letter A to get into insert mode, notice what just happened. The cursor moved one spot to the right of where I was, and when I start typing, it's going to type just like it did with the letter I, with the letters to the left of the cursor. So the only difference is, when you do I, it starts typing right there before the cursor, and when you do A, it moves the cursor over one spot and then enters into insert mode. That's the only difference, it just moves the cursor over one spot. The next two commands I want to show you to enter into insert mode are O and shift+O. What O does is, it looks at the line you're on, and it creates a line beneath it and puts you into insert mode. So once you press O, it creates the line, and we can start typing. Now if we do shift+O, it does the same thing as lowercase o, except it creates a new line above the line your cursor is on. So if we do shift+O, you can see it created a new line but above the cursor, and we can start typing. So that's basically how you get in and out of insert mode and get back to command mode. What I want to show you next is how to delete things. Well, I'm going to show you how to delete individual characters, and then we'll come back to the deleting function as there's more advanced deletion functions with VI. but get into command mode and find the letter or character you want to delete. So let's say we want to delete the D, and then press the letter X. It deletes one character wherever the cursor is. And I can just keep hitting X to delete characters. And I can do that anywhere, right? So that's how we delete characters. Now, the next thing I want to show you is how to exit out of VI. So to exit out of VI, hit escape to make sure you're in command mode. And now you have to decide whether you want to save the changes or close out of VI without saving the changes. So if you want to close out of VI while saving the changes, do colon and then WQ. So that saved the file, saved all the changes, and exit out of VI. So if we go back into the file, you could see the changes that we made. So the changes persisted. Now, if I start typing new things, and this time we want to exit out without saving, you do colon, Q, exclamation. And so if we go back into the file now, you could see that the changes I made previously were deleted. Okay? And I want to show you one more thing real quick. We were using VI to open a pre-existing file by doing sudo VI and then the name of the file. But if I do sudo VI and then a name of a file that doesn't exist, let's just call this a random file that doesn't exist. What it will do is it'll create a new file for you with that name. So then if we start typing and then save the changes, we can see that this file was created. So remember, when you do VI and then a name of a pre-existing file, it allows you to edit that file. If you do VI with a new file name, it'll create that file for you. Okay? Now let's get back into that file here, and I want to show you the search functionality. To search for a specific word or keyword, make sure you're in command mode, right? So hit escape to get into command mode, hit / and then search whatever phrase that you want to search for. So let's say I want to search for DHCP. Hit enter and the cursor automatically moves to the first location of the word that you're searching for. And once you find the first hit, if you press the letter N, it'll take you to the next one. And you can just keep pressing the letter N to just go through the file, seeing where all the instances of DHCP are. And then we can hit escape, make sure we're in command mode. Now I want to show you a few commands to move around in the file. Okay, so right now we're somewhere in the middle of the file, and let's say we want to get to the last line of the file. All you have to do is hit shift+G, and that's going to take you to the bottom of the file. So if we try to hit the down arrow key, you can see that it does not go any further because this is the last line. Now to move to a specific line of your choice, instead of just going to the last line, we can put in the command, we can put in the number of the line we want to go to and then shift+G. So that'll take us to whatever line that we have requested. So if we want to go to the 10th line, just type in 10 and then shift+G. So that takes us to the 10th line. And I know you can't see what I'm typing because VI isn't spitting out the commands as I type, but I did type in 10 and then shift+G. And you can see if we count, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it took us to the 10th line. And a shortcut to getting to the top of the file is obviously just going to the first line. So we can just type in 1 and then shift+G. And so you can see the cursor is now on the first line of the file. Some other commands to move through the document is you have the W command, which moves you word by word. So if I hit W, it took me to the next word. And if I hit W again, it takes me to the next word. It considers that bracket another word. You can see I can hit W and it just takes me to the next word. So that's a useless that's a useless command, I guess, for the most part. Just hit the arrow key if you want. But you never know. If you got long words or something and you want to move word by word, you can. So W is to move forward word by word. The opposite of that is the letter B, which moves us back word by word. You see if I hit B, it takes me to the previous word. The next command is, I'm going to get to the useful commands now. Let's say you have a long, you have a text file with long lines, like outputs like, look at the line for this one, August 12th. It spans 2 different lines, but it's actually one physical line in the text file. Let's say I want to put in some words here, right? And I don't want to have to just hit the arrow key to get all the way to the end of the line. Instead we can use the dollar sign to get to the end of the line. So if we hit the dollar sign, you see it took the cursor to the end of the line. And if we want to get back to the beginning of the line, we can do we can hit the 0 key, and that takes us to the beginning. So 0 gets us to the beginning. The dollar sign gets us to the end. Now let's say we're somewhere in the middle of the file and we want to get not to the top of the file, but we just want to get to the top of the screen. So we want to get to the top line of the current window that we're looking at. We can do that by doing capital M. So shift+M, sorry, not shift+M, shift+H. Shift+H gets us to the top of the window. Shift+M gets us to the middle of the window. And shift+L gets us to the bottom of the window. And the last few commands I wanted to show you when it comes to moving around in the file are ctrl+f. So that's going to move us forward 1 screen, which means it's going to take this this line that we're on, the last line in the current screen, and it's going to move it to the top and show us the next few lines and fill up the screen. So if we do ctrl+f, you can see that line moved up, and now we've got a full new window with the next amount of lines being displayed on the window. And we can go backward 1 screen by pressing ctrl+b, and we can also go forward half a screen with ctrl+u, and we can go back half a screen with ctrl+d. So these are just ways to move through a text file a little quicker instead of just stepping down line by line. And these are very helpful commands. Now, when it comes to deleting, I showed you the letter X. We can delete characters, but we can delete more than 1 character at a time with other commands. So let's say we wanted to delete a whole word. And let's say we don't like this word Ubuntu right here. We can go to the beginning of the word and type in the letters DW, and it deletes the word. And remember, you have to do that in command mode. And the next delete command I want to show you is D caret. So if you type in the letter D and hit the caret, it's going to delete everything before the cursor up to the beginning of the line. So it's going to delete all of this. So if we do that, let's try that. And you can see it deleted from the cursor to the beginning of the line. And now let's say we want to delete from the cursor to the end of the line, so all of this text, we can do $, and it deletes all of that. And the last 2 commands for deletion that I want to show you are, we have DD. So if you type in the letter D twice, it's going to delete the entire line that the cursor is on. And you can see we deleted that line. And the last one is, we're somewhere in the middle of the file. If we do D capital G, it's going to take whatever line I'm on, and it's going to delete that line and everything beneath it all the way to the bottom of the file. So if we do D capital G, you can see it deleted everything from my cursor and down. All right, so that covers deletion. The last topic I want to cover is copy and paste. So to copy and paste, if you want to copy an entire line, just type in the command YY, and and that's going to copy the current line that the cursor is on. So let's copy this line, the one that says started message of the day. Press YY, it's copied it. And if I type in the letter P, lowercase, it puts the copied text one line below. See, it created, it copied and pasted that line one line below where my cursor was. And if I move the cursor up to here and I do shift+P, now it's going to put the copied text one line before the cursor. You can see it added it before where the cursor was. So that's how you copy and paste lines in VI. Alright guys, if you've been playing around with VI on Ubuntu, you may have noticed one annoyingly strange behavior. And that's when we go into insert mode and try to either use the arrow keys to move around or use the backspace key. So I'll show you what I'm talking about. If we go to insert and we start typing, and if I hit the backspace key, it's not doing anything. And then if I use the arrow keys to move, all of a sudden it's putting in random characters. And I'm going to show you guys how to fix that real quick. It's super simple, and I highly recommend you do this as soon as you start working on an Ubuntu machine, because I absolutely hate it when this happens. So just hit escape, exit out of your VI, and now what we want to do is find our home directory. So if you want to figure out what your home directory is, type in echo $, and then capitalized home. So mine's at /home/Sanjeev, and you want to cd into that directory. And what you want to do is you want to create a file called .vimrc. So sudo vi, and then vim, well, you need the dot. Make sure you have the dot vimrc. And all you have to do is just put this one line in, set no compatible. And do WQ to save. And now if we go back into the file that we were working on, and let's say we enter into insert mode and we start typing, look what happens when we hit backspace. It actually deletes the characters like we would expect. And when we move the cursor around, it just moves the cursor around like we expect it to, instead of putting in random characters.